Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my third and final Chillin' Scares video for you guys today. This was titled 10 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Home Security Camera Footage. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera back up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the back. Okay, here we go.
For this first video, this house owner would wake up one morning to find his cell phone completely missing. The house owner lives alone, and this would be enough to make him check his home security cameras. And disturbingly, this would reveal what had actually happened. Rather than showing the house owner simply misplaced his phone, the cameras had clearly caught some unknown man walking around inside the house. It turns out the man let himself in through an unlocked back door, and only minutes later can be seen crawling around the bedroom of the house owner, who the whole time was asleep and completely unaware of what was taking place just a few feet away from him. The man can be seen stealing the house owner's phone, which would end up being the only thing stolen. But most disturbingly is the fact that the man can be seen holding a knife in his mouth, which proves this man came prepared for confrontation. Had the house owner woken up during the break-in, things definitely could have ended a lot worse than just a stolen cell phone.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But if he woke up, he probably could have took that knife out of his mouth and sliced him real bad. Man, I hope he did give the cops this footage just to show them what he looks like, and maybe he could get his phone back, hopefully.
This home security footage was captured in the middle of the night, and it shows a man dressed in a Michael Myers costume walk into frame and eventually right up to the house's front door. The man can be seen holding what looks like a knife and wastes no time in trying to open the door. After realizing it's locked, the man simply walks off, but only to return 2 more times to again try and open the door. On the third try, the man can even be seen attempting to use his knife to assist him in getting the door open. But luckily, after being unsuccessful, the house owners would never see this supposed home intruder again.
Okay, one, that would make people afraid of Michael Myers, but also, I'll be letting my neighbors know that there's a crazy guy walking around with a Michael Myers costume, and he's trying to break into my home. So if you see this guy, you might want to call the cops.
On an early morning in July of 2016, a woman living in Chicago would discover that her purse had gone missing. Both the woman and her boyfriend would attempt to retrace their steps in the hopes of locating where it had been left. And this would ultimately lead them to go back and check the footage of their home security camera. But horrifyingly, when they would rewind the footage to 3:30 a.m., it would reveal a hooded figure walking around the upstairs of their house. Only a few hours prior, the couple had mistakenly fallen asleep on the couch watching TV, which would cause them to forget to lock the doors into their house, and this would allow for the intruder to get inside the house completely undetected. The intruder would stand at the top of the stairs for around 10 full minutes, seemingly contemplating whether to go down the stairs or not. But finally, he would leave, with nothing but the woman's purse.
Oh man, if I was out of town and I had one of those cameras set up, and if it had the ability to like talk through it, I'd be like, you better put down whatever you took and get out. I'm calling the cops. I know he'd be bolting down them stairs. But yeah, it's kind of disturbing that he's looking at the TV and at them while they're sleeping on the couch. That'd be a nightmare forever.
Some other nearby residents had reported to have seen the same guy around the neighborhood and had even caught him on camera again lurking around. But the guy still hasn't been caught.
You mean to tell me that his face showing on that camera was not proof enough of what he looks like? I mean, a cop can look at that and be like, oh, we seen him around. Makes you wonder what he's looking for. Some goods to probably sell quick to get some cash. Who knows?
This couple was on vacation in Zimbabwe. The house they were staying at had a pool, and so on the night of October 27th, 2016, they can be seen by one of the home's security cameras going for a late night swim. And that's when, practically out of nowhere, a crocodile can be seen walking up to and eventually leaping into the pool. This would obviously cause the couple to desperately attempt to get out of the water. Luckily, both of them would survive, with the woman only receiving minimal cuts on her shoulder and elbow. And the crocodile would later be relocated back into the wild where no human contact was possible.
Yeah, that was scared the crap out of me. Glad they got out unharmed, but the woman got cut from the crocodile. Whew. Glad it wasn't no big full-grown one. Them things can really do some damage.
This video features a montage of clips taken over the course of around 5 months. The first clip is in January 2017 and shows a man in a car pull up next to a woman asking her if she needed a ride. The woman would respond saying she lived just right here, but would later go on to regret telling the man this, as just the next day the same car can be seen lingering around just outside her home.
Yeah, you would regret that because I'll be telling that person, no, I just live a few doors down. And then I'll be waiting for them to hit the pedal to the metal and get out of there and then hurry, get back to my house before they decide to turn around just to see where I actually live.
Over the course of the next few days, the car can continually be seen driving by watching the house. Eventually, the man is able to confront the woman again, and this time tells her he could use some help around his house. The woman would obviously refuse to help the man, but this wouldn't stop him. Later, the same man can be seen, this time in a different car, leaving a note in the house's mailbox. The note again stated that he could use some help around the house, but this time he wrote down his phone number. The woman obviously wouldn't call the number, but instead called the police to report the situation. One comment suggested that the man was most likely just waiting for the right moment to snatch the woman.
I was thinking the same thing, but he looked like an elderly person in that car, so how would he snatch her? Well, I'm glad you reported to the cops. I hope they tell him to stop harassing her and stop showing up to her house. I mean, that is disturbing just to feel like you're living in a nice neighborhood and all of a sudden you keep seeing the same car going back and forth, even driving up to your driveway without you there. And then the guy shows up in a different car. Nah, he's up to something.
This home security footage shows the house owner's 3 daughters playing on their backyard trampoline. But after only a few seconds of this, a man in a white van can be seen pulling up next to them. The man would then attempt to lure the children inside his van by offering them donuts. The oldest of the 3 girls, obviously understanding the danger of the situation, would quickly grab her sisters, getting them inside. And the man would drive off shortly after.
Yeah, that youngest girl right there looked like she really wanted a donut, but at least the older sister knew what was going on and got both of them back inside. No, he was luring them with donuts just so he could kidnap them. But I'm glad that they got back inside before he decided to grab one of them.
In January of 2018, a woman named Noelle Bracey would claim to have been hearing various sounds outside of her bedroom window. Disturbed by this, she would set up a live camera outside in an attempt to catch whoever or whatever it was. And that's when she caught a man she'd never seen before walk up to her bedroom window and try to look inside. After a few seconds, the man would notice the camera and quickly walk away. But shortly after, he would return and steal the camera. Noelle believes this man that she caught on camera had been looking into her bedroom window for at least 3 weeks.
Man, I'll be calling the cops right then and there and see if they can, catch him in the act of just staring at the window. But then the fact that he steals the camera just didn't want to be seen. You don't want people to know what he looks like. But hey, you got busted, buddy. I hope he does get caught.
This footage shows an intruder walking around a house looking for various valuables. The guy had only broken into the house seconds earlier by smashing a window. And while this was going on, the house owner's kid and their babysitter were out running errands. But when they returned, unknown to them, the intruder was on the top floor of the house. The kid can be seen walking around the kitchen, but when the babysitter heard footsteps upstairs, she can be seen frantically grabbing the kid and running outside to the neighbor's house. Shortly after, followed by the intruder running away. And the intruder himself was never caught.
He either probably heard you slam the door shut to run, or he saw them bolting out the door on the top floor window, and he decided to get out quick before the cops showed up. Man, I wish he got caught, though.
This man was sitting in his backyard in Australia when one of his home security cameras captured a snake slithering across the screen. While the man had his back to it and therefore couldn't see it come up right next to him, his dog would notice the creature and even go after it. This would alert the man and allow him to get both himself and his dog a safe distance away.
Man, if I saw a snake, yeah, I'd be trying to get back away from it or get something to chop his head off.
What makes this clip so disturbing is the fact that the snake was an eastern brown snake, which is the second most venomous snake in the world. A snake that's responsible for about 60% of snakebite deaths in Australia.
Well, I'm glad that dog of yours was able to alert you, because if that snake got near you and bit you, you probably would have died. Glad the dog did not get hurt either, but yeah, you just don't want to be around no snake, especially if it's venomous.
This home security camera was recording in the middle of the night when, from the right side of the screen, multiple orb-looking blurs can be seen coming into view. They look to fly across the screen behind the house's fence, but it's clear something went over the fence. Many comments claim to have thought the video was in some way related to the paranormal, though one comment suggested the blurs looked like kids running by and throwing jackets over the fence. The comment went on to guess it was a group of teenagers who had just committed a criminal offense and were trying to ditch their jackets so as to make it harder to be identified by law enforcement. But it's still unclear what is really being shown in this video.
You know, at first you would think that these would be orbs, but the way they're moving, it almost looks like they're running. So yeah, I would go with that theory that they might have been delinquents. They were trying to outrun from a little crime they committed. Well, alright everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this Chillin' Scares video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more Chillin' Scares reaction content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.